You're listening to Hashtag Impact, a podcast about stuff that matters. I am your host, Regina Larco. And before we dive into today's episode, I just want to share with you a podcast that I really enjoy, and I think you will too. I love being inspired by stories of extraordinary social impact founders. I mean, I get to be around them every day, which is probably my favorite part of my job. And everyone has their own story, and that's what really keeps me inspired. And so that's why I think you'll really enjoy listening to Evolve. It's hosted by my new friend, Brandon Stover. Brandon asks thought-provoking questions to unlock the wisdom of these social entrepreneurs. And you get to hear guests like Madison Campbell and David Katz and a whole roster of amazing entrepreneurs who are all solving the world's greatest challenges. So you can head on over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts to listen to Evolve with Brandon Stover. And now, on to today's episode. How do science, technology, and public policy contribute to the Sustainable Development Goals? Today, we will find out. This is such a treat because this might just be the most innovative topic we have ever addressed on Hashtag Impact. And I have brilliant women with me here today that are going to tell you all about it. Hi, Nuria. Hi, Gusté.
Hi.
We will find ourselves at the intersection of science, artificial intelligence, and the Sustainable Development Goals. You will hear about OSDG, an open source initiative that aims to integrate various existing attempts to classify research according to the Sustainable Development Goals and to make this process open, transparent, and user-friendly. I am so thrilled to welcome to our channel Dr. Nuria Bautista Puig. Sorry, I totally messed up the name pronunciation.
No, but it's good.
I told you I told you this would happen, Nuria. I warned you. Okay, Nuria, you are the R&I technical support at Carlos III University of Madrid and affiliated researcher at University of Yevle, and Gusté Statuleviciute from PPMI, one of the partners behind the OSDG, a project that is also supported by of course we have to point it out, the United Nations Development Program SDG.AI Lab. I mean, Hashtag Impact listeners, you have noticed I've never stumbled so much over an intro in my life, but also because I'm a little bit nervous talking to so bright and smart, amazing women today on the podcast, and also about a topic, to be frank, I told you before, right, that is also one that is, to me, very new, you know. We have talked about the Sustainable Development Goals on our season 5. We have a wonderful episode for everyone who just joined new, where you can learn about what the SDGs are all about and what your role in this is. I will put it in the show notes if you need a little kind of like basic introduction to the topic. But OSDG, how did this start? And what is it all about?
So thank you very much for the invitation of being here today, Regina. It's an honor to be here in your podcast. So OSDG basically started in an informal conversation in a conference. I was doing the PhD and I was trying to analyze the implementation of sustainability at universities. So one of the main aspects that I was researching was to see, for example, how the research is aligned with the SDGs. So basically, I developed an anthology that is a list of terms that were related with the different SDGs. And in a conference in Rome, we had conversations with Vilius from PPMI, and we were talking about what we could do for the SDGs. So we were talking about maybe developing a tool that could allow, for example, classify text to the different SDGs. So we had contact during a few months and we developed this tool that is called OSDG tool. And basically anyone could access to this tool and, for example, introduce some text. And these texts, later on, there is some ontologies that are behind and machine learning that behind the tool. And basically the result that you get is, for example, indicating which SDGs are you contributing with this text. So during the time we decided, okay, we have this tool, it's amazing, but we need to have more people on board. We need to really open this project and to have more people to really understand the different contributions of the SDGs, because one of the main problems is SDGs, it's very a policy language and it's very subjective. So different people with different expertise has different understandings of what is exactly the contribution of the different goals or the meaning itself. So we decided to launch a citizen science initiative that is called OSDG Community Platform. And basically in this platform, anyone could participate. And when I say anyone is, okay, it's really nice to have researchers on board, but we want to have practitioners. We want to have policymakers, and also we want to have members of organizations and also citizens. We want to have everyone involved in this project. And basically in this project, the volunteers join a platform and they see different texts. They see, for example, a text that consists in 5-6 lines. And we ask them, do you think this text is related with this SDG? For example, SDG 2, zero hunger. Do you think this text is related? And the volunteers has to answer yes or no. So basically they are helping to contribute to this project and to help to understand more what is the SDGs about.
Yeah, so really, although, I guess I felt a bit intimidated by all the AI and machine learning behind it, but really what we want to do here today as well is to invite everyone to be part of this, right? And to really spread the conversation. And I love that so many people have already participated. It absolutely blew me away when you shared with me beforehand, Gusté, that more than 1,000 volunteers had signed up already and had been contributing, and you actually have some exciting updates to share on that as well. How that, first, how should we call it? Like almost like a trial run to open this up to the citizens for the first time. How that has been going. How is it for you to be part of this project, and how is it to work with these volunteers on it, Gusté?
It has been an amazing journey so far. When we started, we had our initial doubts, if we will be able to onboard volunteers, will people want to dedicate their time to take part in the exercise? And we spent a lot of time trying to make it as user-friendly, as simplistic as it can be, and to also make it fun, to find ways to really cater to different people based on their professional and academic backgrounds. And I think we have succeeded because we've managed to build this community of over 1,000 volunteers as of right now. And they come from every age group, almost every country. And they're very eager to participate. So it's been a very exciting journey so far, because our volunteers themselves are actually trying to contribute beyond the frame of the project, even beyond labeling the SDGs. They're also actually right now we're building a content platform, so we're going to be sharing articles and also producing our own events together with these citizen scientists, because the people that we have on board actually they are experts in their fields. We have people who have been in the sustainability area for years. They're very, very experienced, and we're happy that this exercise, we built it initially to help kind of advance the open source project that we have, but it's also growing into this platform for people to share their own ideas, their own projects, to find collaboration partners, and I think contribute to the SDGs in their own way.
And the open source project, maybe we have to go a step back to explain to our listeners as well what the purpose of this is. And I found this on your website, and I actually love that. We should really talk take a moment to talk about that, because what I could read there is the purpose of the OSDG is that there are many research areas whose relevance to SDGs is still poorly understood. And the risk is that some disciplines may be incorrectly assigned to SDGs or left out altogether. What I think is even worse, right? So in that way, you have built this, and I can explain it maybe a little bit like that because, of course, we tested it out. I mean, we went into the platform and we had our amazing Avani, who had a science project that she was working on for her university. So she had a scientific text, and she put that into your tool, and after, it didn't take long. I mean, the machines, right? They were in the background. The AI was working. This was a text that wasn't written on the SDGs per se. It was another topic. Not another topic. It was just a topic. But the great thing was, after she ran it through this program, the program spit out several SDGs that this actually addresses, her research addresses. And now she, as a young researcher, had a whole new framework to look at her work through the lens of the SDGs. Nuria, do you want to talk us through that? Was that what you intended all along? What you dreamt up at that meeting that you had when you were first thinking about it, right?
Absolutely. Because there are many people that maybe their research is completely aligned with the SDGs, and maybe they have been working about, for example, health for many years, but they really don't know if maybe their research is aligned with the SDGs. So it is needed more tools. And this is what we want to offer. Of course, the tool is not perfect because there is a lot of debate about what is exactly the SDGs and to translate this into more plain words. But at least it's something that any researcher in the world could check and could see, for example, if any of their papers to which SDGs are more aligned, are more related to. So of course, it's amazing to see. And also, I think somehow that the difference with the SDGs with their predecessors, because SDGs are not new. There were another goals before that were not well known as the SDGs. There were the Millennium Development Goals. And I think there has been a completely different perspective with the SDGs because SDGs are more popular, are like a good brand for everyone. Everyone knows the image of the 17 SDGs. And this is something that with the MDGs didn't happen. And somehow I think SDGs, it seems that everyone needs to be on board. And also that's the objective with the SDGs is completely different with the MDGs. Because with the MDGs, we're more, okay, the more rich countries needs to save the poor ones. And that's not at all, because at the end, sustainability is a matter for everyone. Okay, for example, we know that some countries are more, they have more good scores in sustainability, like the Sweden, Denmark. But of course, there are some actions that needs to be done towards the goal. So they are not perfect. There are some areas in which they have to improve. And I think this is a very important point about the SDGs, that is not a perfect scenario. There is no perfect scenario in any country. So any country, and it doesn't matter, developed countries, developing countries, needs to be some actions towards the goals.
Now, Gusté, I mean, this is a total confronting question maybe, but how has your relationship been with the SDGs? Because you are with PPMI. Maybe you want to tell us a little bit what you do within that work frame, so I guess you're wearing many hats, and I guess the SDGs also maybe were something that you wouldn't really address as often in your day job as is. And now this was something that was maybe a bit new to you as well. How was that? How has your relationship with the SDGs evolved?
Yeah, so actually at PPMI, we are this public policy research center located in Vilnius, Lithuania. And SDGs, I think we have had some consulting projects that might have overarch maybe with the SDGs as we address various public policy challenges through our work. But I personally haven't been in any very kind of near capacity with the SDGs, so it was quite a new experience for me to learn more about it, and especially exciting to see that there was such a huge community of people all around the world that were interested in in specific SDGs or in the framework altogether, and how they're looking, for ways to contribute to them, either on a personal basis, on what each individual can do, or also trying to find sustainability in their workplace, in their community practices. So this has been a very exciting experience for me to learn, basically, how big of a community is standing behind this framework. And right now, I think I'm much more aware of it, and I also I'm proceeding with my studies, and I'm just kind of seeing how the SDG framework also, is getting more prevalent in the academic community, even in my studies. So this is a very nice synergy, from what I'm doing in my work life, and then getting to actually apply it in the true academic environment.
And with all these, I guess, different players also involved, that actually brings me to one of the challenges that you have mentioned to me beforehand, Nuria, where you, I guess, asked yourself also, how can we co-create? How can we collaborate? And one of the big problems you shared that the university is facing is that how can you actually integrate the different actors? So society, you have students, you have organizations, you have companies, you have policymakers. And how do you integrate them in that research process so that it becomes this co-creation process? And that actually directly relates then to SDG 17, right? Partnership for the goals. It's such a tricky one. How do you feel about this now, since maybe at the start of the project compared to now? Are you feeling more hopeful about it, or are you just getting, I mean, for sure, at times frustrated with it as well, because of course you want to make the change and you want things to move. But I guess sometimes when you have a lot of people involved, it's also hard to get them all aligned.
Yeah, totally. I think now with universities are changing, which is great, because now there are many projects, there are many that, for example, are taking into account trying to incorporate these stakeholders understanding tools and into the research process. This is something that is not easy. And for example, now in the project I am currently doing at the University Carlos III, this is something that we want to do: create a unit where we could identify the society needs, and also we could co-create with them in all the process. So OSDG for me, it was a boost on the sense that it was a project in which I could also see that having these different understandings, having these different people involved could really make a change. And yeah, it's not easy, because you, as a researcher, I think one of the main problems that we have as a researchers is sometimes when we are doing the research, we are forgetting the bigger picture. We are forgetting how, for example, this research is useful for society, how, for example, as citizens could use, or if it's relevant for the society. And I think with this co-creation approach, you could really make a change on the sense that you are identifying the society needs, you are collaborating with them. And this is not something new. I mean, there are many participatory activities that you could conduct. And there are many tools on the internet that explains you how is the methodology. And that is absolutely amazing, because you know, for example, how to talk with different stakeholders. It's not the same to talk with the citizens or a policymaker, and having all them integrated into the research process. And also, it's super important, and I think this is something that as researchers forget, is, okay, it's great to have all these actors involved, but it's the most important thing is that they participate in the entire process. So you have to, for example, teach to the citizens, teach to the community organizations to speak the same language and to really co-create, and they really feel part of the project. Because, okay, there are many citizen projects in which, for example, they use the citizens as data sensors, or maybe they are getting data from the citizens. But this is not the objective of a citizen science project. You're supposed to have these people on board in all the entire process. And this is a challenge because it's not easy, and it's really difficult to maintain this collaboration over time, because people need to really think that they are part of the process. And yeah, it's a challenge, but we are trying to do with OSDG. And also, as Gusté mentioned, we have this Slack channel, which is great because we could have more an interaction with them. And we must not forget that, unfortunately, this happened with the pandemic situation. So thank God we could have this platform, and we could have these environments where we could interact with the different people. But it's not easy to do it when you don't see each other in the same, for example, room.
Yeah, Gusté, talk us through that, the community building, gaining the traction in terms of building the community in the first place. And then, I mean, I see that for myself, building the #impact community and bringing, my vision has always been, bring everyone together and bring the guests together and co-create. But it is difficult to get people to commit to show up consistently, continuously. And when you said what really rings very close to heart, it resonates, like the language we use. How do we communicate it that they actually want to come on board and they want to take stock, they want to get invested as a person, with their passions, with the impact they want to make? Gusté, any tips for us here when it comes to community building? What has worked like super well for OSDG? What other organizations could learn from?
That's a great question, actually. We're also learning on the job every day with, building this community. But I think one of the main points was listening to the feedback that we get. Some of it, we kind of encourage ourselves by producing some short surveys or by asking directly. And sometimes volunteers or citizen scientists, they just contact us directly, and make suggestions, what could be improved, what could be done to attract more people and to make the exercise or the Slack channel, as Nuria mentioned, more engaging. So I think just following up on the feedback and really listening and building upon that is a great way to improve any community. Just listening. Let me think. What else? Yeah, I think just also taking the time to learn about each volunteer's background. Where they come from, because that's also something to utilize in any community. Because if you have a lot of experts in specific areas, then I'm sure that, there are other people who would like to learn about this area, would like to learn more about the subject. So definitely encourage knowledge sharing. Either, there are so many platforms now that can facilitate that, and you don't even have to be on the same in the same location or in the same time zone. And I think if you encourage people to share their knowledge, that really contributes to a stronger community.
And everyone can already see these results, right? Can we put them in our show notes as well, so that they can have a look what these amazing citizen scientists have contributed to? I guess that should be a big win for them to celebrate as well. I mean, they did that, right? How did they feel about being part of it and then actually seeing the results?
Yes, exactly. So I think we're definitely going to share the first of all the OSDG community data set, which is basically our biggest milestone so far. It's following one of the citizen science principles, that we have to give back to the community that contributed to this initiative. And this data set basically puts together all of the results from the project so far and makes it available to the general public. So any researcher, anyone interested can use that. So that's one of the great results from our citizen scientists. And also we look forward to sharing the blog posts because as I mentioned, we're trying to capitalize really on the different knowledge and experience from each volunteer. So we're going to be sharing some articles on different SDGs and different perceptions in various regions throughout the world. So I hope your listeners will enjoy that as well.
Oh, absolutely, they will. I would also love to highlight maybe, Nuria, was there a moment, a special moment, a goosebump moment for you within the last few years working on this project where you will forever remember that moment?
Yeah, maybe when I got really surprised when I saw the number of people that were joining the platform, and also with Gusté, it's not that only they are signing. We are also conducting some workshops in which we have the opportunity to talk with these volunteers and explain them what the SDGs came about, what is the objective of the project, and also for example, in these workshops, they have the opportunity to also to let us know what they think about the project, or yeah, it's another way of not only for training but for having these conversations. But I would say yes, the number of volunteers increasing, and yeah, it really surprised me a lot because it's really difficult in these citizens projects to have many people on board, and I think in this project having more than 1,000 volunteers, it's really a big point that we also should remark.
Yeah, what is the UNDP SDG.AI lab? Did I say that correctly now? What are they saying to themselves? Are they also totally blown away and happy about this fruitful collaboration? Is it like I would imagine that you always have these projects that are kind of like you're very proud and you showcase them, right? Like, look at what we do. So I don't know. I just imagine that this would be one that they very proudly showcase as well. How is that actually the communication? Because you all in different places, right? I guess this all lives in the virtual world. What makes it very excited also for you listener, wherever you are now, you can become part of this. Just get in touch with Nuria and Gusté. But how has that been internally, I guess, celebrated, that big milestone? Was there a celebration? I hope there was some kind of celebration.
It has been really amazing so far. We cannot really have a celebration all together because we're located in different countries, but we have these weekly calls, and we try to celebrate each milestone, each highlight. We go through some nice comments from the volunteers and try to really keep the spirits up this way. So it has been really fun. Yes, and actually the SDG.AI lab has been instrumental in the project as well. We're working together and trying to find even new partners, new stakeholders who would be interested in the project and to introduce them. So the help of SDG.AI lab has been instrumental definitely in this. And we've also through their colleagues, we have managed to attract volunteers through the UN volunteering service, basically online volunteers that are looking specifically for UN-related opportunities. And this cohort of people has been extremely active and very interested in the exercise. So definitely a special shout out to everyone at the UNV online volunteering service.
Yeah, and everyone, if you're now listening wherever you are in the world right now and thinking, I guess I have a few minutes to spare, a few hours, maybe even more. Wouldn't it be interesting just to see how it works? I think that's what I would like to encourage people to just see and check that out for themselves, because there's something about it when you see, this machines at work, this artificial intelligence, but then when you also see, you're bringing the human in it. I love that about it. It's not just about the robots in the background doing this for us, but actually what is our role as humans in this, and how can we leverage the technology to then create even bigger impact? I'm so excited for you. Where are you going to take this next? What's on the radar for you? Any new big things you're working on currently? And we have to say we're recording in October 2021 for every one of you tuning in now in the future, So interesting. Our future listeners, if you're listening to this in 2031, in October 21, this was on the radar for you. What are you excited about looking ahead now, the next couple of months?
I think maybe I can talk a bit about where we're going to be taking the tool first. So we look forward to really making it a multi-purpose tool for not only researchers, but all of those people that are interested in the SDGs, so that it's very easy to use and also accurate. And we're going to be looking at, of course, the feedback that we collect from researchers and research organizations that are already using the tool to perfect it even further, so that it's that you can not only upload, DOIs or text abstracts, but maybe some other formats to really facilitate the use of the tool. So we look forward to sharing maybe new developments about where that's going in the coming months. And as for the OSDG community platform, of course, we're approaching the goal, the current goal of 1 million labels, 1 million texts that have been read and labeled by the volunteers and citizen scientists. So as we're approaching that, we're also aiming to further enhance the community, onboard more people, more people with different backgrounds, different nationalities, and to really get to know them better and to find out how we can make this tool useful for everyone. Maybe Nuria, you have something to add?
No, for me, I think maybe I could say that to have more people on board. I mean, we have tried to disseminate a lot the project, but it could be great to have a wide variety of stakeholders involved. And the more the better. So the more we have more different understandings, the better it will also help us to determine this as a researchers, but also in the project.
I'm so excited about this episode because when we kicked off season 5, that first episode that I put together, I was just very lost when it comes to the Sustainable Development Goals. I had a lot of misconceptions and a lot of I was very confused, to be frank, when I first went into it. I saw these colorful numbers and I thought that looks great, but I saw them very isolated. I think that is something that I've learned from a lot of people that first start educating themselves on the SDGs, that you look at it a little bit in a silo, like, okay, my company or my organization is focusing on this particular goal. And then actually playing the SDG game opened my eyes to how interconnected everything is. And also now learning from you about this project at the really intersection of science and citizen participation and policy making and technology, it really shows me that, every citizen, every individual really has a role in it if we're just daring to check what that role could be. And being part of your initiative and becoming one of the volunteers for sure is an exciting way to claim that role within that conversation, right? So I'm excited for listeners to check that out and become part of it. And I hope that #Impact can contribute to a few more of your volunteers signing up for your great project. That would, you have to let me know how that goes after the episode aired, if the numbers are like skyrocketing. Yeah, look out for that. We have amazing, very engaged and loyal listeners. Thank you, by the way, for all of you listening right now. We are so appreciative of you. I can't believe how time always flies with my guests. I could talk to you for ages, but I have to send you through the quick fire round now. Ladies, are you ready?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yes.
Making an impact means?
I would say that maybe for me, what really an impact means is to really contribute to a societal challenge. For example, as a researcher, maybe you cannot eradicate the pollution or the extreme poverty in the world, but you can do a significant contribution to it, a methodology, a new research that maybe could be useful for somehow. So finding this usability of your research, I think, is what an impact means.
Yeah, sounds great. I think the only thing I could add maybe is to always start thinking from the little steps that you can take, and I think the rest, the path will follow.
Who inspires you in the way they are tackling the Sustainable Development Goals? Nuria, I mean, you guys inspire me the way you tackle the Sustainable Development Goals. Can I just add that as my answer? But Nuria, do you have someone you look up to?
Yeah, I mean, at the Spanish level, well, there is a global network that is called Sustainable Development Solutions Networks, and they are really doing a lot of work to trying to disseminate about the SDGs, and also they have the Spanish version that is called REDS, the Spanish acronym. And I think they inspire me a lot about how the for example, they are trying the spread the word somehow with the SDGs. And also, I would like also to mention some researchers that I have also met in my career, like Ismael Rafols, Rodrigo Lozano, and many others that really inspire me a lot about all these issues.
Yeah, and for me, I think it's just definitely the various initiatives that I keep seeing. How companies are innovating and finding new approaches to solve issues like, the climate crisis. So I've been recently reading up a lot on the carbon capture technologies and how we can basically contribute to cleaning and reducing the number of emissions through new innovative ways, and how basically the carbon that's captured can be used, and even like mineralizing our carbon drinks and similar things like that. So just various initiatives and the creativity behind them is definitely inspiring.
That sounds amazing. Last but not least, the biggest question of all. What could everyone do right now to make the world a better place?
That's a super big question, Regina, but I would say, and maybe that sounds really difficult, but I think little actions make the change somehow. So I think if anyone is interested in the SDGs and maybe doesn't know how to participate, I think maybe staying informed or maybe participating in this citizen science or maybe other. There are many tools out there in internet or many platforms where they can interact with different, not only researchers, but other organizations. I think that could make the change.
And I definitely recommend learning more about our initiative and making use of all of the knowledge that we have gathered so far, and definitely taking a minute or two to contribute to the exercise. I think that's a great way to start and to learn more about the SDGs and find the ones that you are exceptionally passionate about and go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So where should everyone go now? What's the website? Where will we send people now?
So the website is OSDG.AI. And on this website, you will find immediately the classification tool where you can enter your publication or an excerpt of some text that you have prepared. And there's also a tab called Community. So that's where you will find the OSDG community platform. You can sign up and immediately proceed to our citizen science exercise.
Yeah, it's amazing. And that's all for free, available for you to just join and participate. Do it. And thank you so much for being here today. This was absolutely wonderful to learn about this. Thank you so much for taking the time from, across the globe. We are recording today across 3 countries and time zones, right? Yeah, we're all in different time zones. I mean, look at us. look at us in this modern world. Thank you so much. We will definitely keep, please keep us posted how everything is going so that we can also then celebrate you over at #Impact Club, where we're going to hang out together and have a little dance. Can we have a little dance of joy over there when your episode airs? Please, please. Yes.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Thanks so much for today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening today. Again, huge thanks to the team at OSDG.AI. We love what you do. Again, a big thanks to Brandon Stover from Evolve. Check out his podcast. And last but not least, thank you to you. I always, I'm so curious who listens all the way to the end. I would really love to know. Just drop me an email at regina@impact.com and let me know if you listened all the way to the end now. And if you want to hang out, let's join us at our monthly virtual coffee breaks at #Impact Club. It would be my honor to welcome you there. Head over to #impact.com/club. And I'll see you soon. Bye.